Hey everybody, Owen Video here, founder of the Video Sales Machine, and I wanted to share a real personal story with y'all today on how I almost lost my daughter. And my daughter is my youngest born. She's a miracle baby. We were told that we couldn't have kids, and then we had this beautiful little girl, and it wasn't too long ago that this little girl was almost ripped away from me, and it changed me in a lot of different ways that I want to share with you guys in this series that I'm doing now, where I want to get a little vulnerable. I want to peel back some of the layers and go behind the curtain to um, share with you some secrets and some insider tips that I've learned about business. Now, I'm going to be sharing a whole lot more in my new PDF guide and in my new training that's coming out very, very shortly. And I'm excited about that, guys. It represents 6 long months of hard work. And so that's coming. I want you to stay tuned for that. But I want to share with you this story because it started back it was just a few months ago at Legoland, California. We were in Legoland, and I was with my whole family. We even had some cousins with us, and it was getting towards the end of the day. Everyone's getting a little bit tired, right? You know how that goes. And so we decided to end our day, right? It's the end of the day watching this 4D movie, right? So it's like a 3D movie, put 3D glasses on. It's in this big amphitheater. It's a concrete amphitheater. It's indoor, of course. And as you get in, I had my 3 boys with me, and I was carrying my boys, and I was like, boys, walk this way and follow dad and follow me. My wife had little Scotty, and she at the time was just 3 years old. So, we're walking in this big, loud amphitheater, and we're walking in, and we're trying to find our seats. And as we're sort of getting in here today, as we're sort of getting in I know there's, they're playing this preview, and it's like, hey, join us, get popcorn in the lobby, and this whole thing. And it says, do not use the blue steps to walk down the stairs, right? Do not use the blue steps. Those are for sitting, and they're not designed for you to walk, right? And I noticed, I'm walking on blue steps here. And then I noticed, these are a little bit bigger. And so I moved to the side, and there's a clearly marked concrete, stairway. And so I tell my boys, get over here, and let's walk down these steps. And as we're walking down the steps, I see this sign that says, use the walkways. Don't walk on the blue painted steps. Those are seats. They're not steps, and they're hard to walk on. So we found our seats, and we got seated, and we just kind of sat, and we waited for the rest of our crew to get here. Shortly after, I heard the most amazing voice in the world, the voice of my little Scotty, and she goes, "Daddy, Daddy!" And I see her running down the blue steps, and I can see her struggling with her legs because they're so big, their seats. I see her sort of struggling. My heart's racing just thinking about it. And I could see that she's 3 years old. These steps are just too big. And so I'm kind of like running towards her, and I'm like, no, you know what I mean? Like slow motion. And I see her start to dive forward on the steps, and she just goes forward over her whole body. She hits the ground, and her whole body falls over her. And I reached for her, and I'm like a dad, and I dove in like I'm in a baseball, and I'm diving for her, and I was just out of reach. And I put my hand down here to try to catch her head, and I just couldn't catch it. And it was at that time where I'm like on the ground, and I'm sort of like level with her, and I could see her neck bent backwards like an S. And at that moment, I thought, my little girl is gone. And it was scarier than cancer. And so she tumbled over, and I picked her up, and I looked at her, and she looked at me, and I was expecting her eyes to roll back to her head. I was expecting an unconscious something, but instead I saw a beautiful 3-year-old look back at me, and she said, "I'm sorry, Daddy." And I just stood there shocked. And I said, put your arms out. And she put her arms out. And I said, clap your hands. And I said, move your feet up and down. And she moved her feet up and down. And I said, are you okay? Are you okay? And she said, yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine, Dad. And my wife, I looked up at my wife. I was in complete and utter shock. And I looked at her and I pointed to the screen. And, this is kind of a scene at this point, because when she fell, my wife's, she screamed, and I'm like, no, so people saw us, they're looking at us. And so I look at my wife, and I'm so angry, I'm flustered, I'm in shock. And I say, didn't you see the signs? And she said, what signs? And that's where I want to talk a little bit about our message today, but the message I wanted to deliver to you today through that story. Legoland had foreseen this problem. They knew that this could be a problem. And so what they did was they put a video on the screen that basically said, they put a video on the screen that said, hey, watch out for the blue steps. And then they, on top of that, had signage that said, watch out for the blue steps. Hey, I'm so glad to see you guys out there in the comment sections. V Reacts, Dan Norton, JP, Tony Jacobson, Rebranding. Great to have you guys here. Lily Tree, Libyan, good to have you guys. Tech for your needs. Glad you're here. I just got the live chat chat box. And if you're watching here live, let me hear from you. If you're watching on the replay, let me know you're watching on the replay. Guys, Legoland put a video up and they put signs up, and it still wasn't enough, right? My wife and I, after a long day at Legoland, we wanted to relax, and our goal was to get to this last event, right? This last event, and enjoy it with the family and go home and be on with our day. And so our goal was to kind of get there and relax and get to our destination. Now, there were obstacles in the way, and Legoland did their best, but in all the turmoil of the day and taking care of kids and going to the bathroom and like grabbing popcorn and grabbing Coke and making sure the wagon, had everything in it, it just wasn't enough to break through to my wife. Just as, and I don't blame her for that. This is a part of life. Just as your messaging, your marketing message is not enough to break through to your audience. And here's why. Because they are inundated with the worries and concerns of their own lives. They are worried and concerned. They're preoccupied with the worries of their own lives. And this is the same reason, maybe you guys can relate to this. Let me know if this ever happened to you. Maybe you stop at a stop sign and you sit there and you wait for a few minutes before you recognize that you're waiting for the light to turn green. How many of you ever done that? Or maybe you get into an elevator and the doors close and you just assume the elevator is going to go where you want it to go. You forget, I got to press the button. We're so inundated with what's going on right now, where we have to be, all the kids at home. I got to get to where I'm going, that we are ninja blocking all of the marketing messages. So if you are building a business and you are trying to get your customers' attention with an ad that you're spending $5 a week on, you are not doing enough to break through to your customer and get their attention so that you can convert them into a business opportunity, right? If you are building a platform like a public speaker, maybe you're a YouTuber, and you're uploading once a week, you're not seeing results. You're not doing enough to break through. You're kind of like you're posting this thing on the screen and you got a sign and you're like, why are kids falling still? Why aren't they reading the signs? It's because you're not doing enough. In fact, Grant Cardone is a sales trainer. He has a whole platform built on this called the 10X rule. And the 10X rule says you've got to do 10 times as much as you think you have to do to get the result that you're expecting. Okay? Now, I want you guys to really think about how much you're doing in your business and in your platform, okay, to stand out and to demand attention from the people that are tuning into you. And if you have any questions that you want to ask about growing your business, ask them in the comment section. For those of you watching live, I'm going to do some Q&A with you just as soon as I wrap up this story. And for those of you that want to watch the Q&A video, I've detached it from this video and I've put a link to it up here so you can go watch that. Okay? There is so much noise out there. You're not breaking through. Your message is not getting through. Your message is not getting through. So here are 3 things that you can do, okay, to break through the noise. These are lessons that I've learned. I'm yelling at my wife and I'm like, didn't you see all the signs? She says, no, I didn't. And I'm thinking, if she didn't see the warning signs, I'm wondering if my customers are even hearing from me, right? So here's 3 rules for how to stand out and how to demand attention. Okay. And if you hear something that you really like, I want to hear it from you in the comment section because I love to engage. I'm going to answer every comment. Okay. Number 1 is be clear. And Dan Norton knows a lot about this. We talked about this. Dan Norton's in my private mastermind group. It's a phenomenal group, really a strong group of business owners, some just starting out, some very well established. And we were talking today about what are you selling? And we talked about you have to be very, very clear about what it is that you're doing, right? I provide widgets to your housewives, right? I repair drywall for homeowners, right? If you're Paul Peck over at the drywalling channel, right? If you're building a platform like a speaker or a YouTuber, right? What is your channel all about? I talk about productivity and business tips every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Okay. You have got to be incredibly clear on what it is that you do and who it is you do it for. Okay. At my company at Owen Video, we teach business owners like you how to generate leads and close sales with online video. That's our clear messaging. So I want you guys, if you're not clear on your messaging, I'm guessing a lot of you aren't, because I've been there. I've been in the place where I've seen so many of you, you kind of say this pitch to this guy and this pitch to that guy. You're changing up the way you say what you say to different people. You've really got to decide on who you are. And here's a great way to do it. What's your primary audience? Don't say everybody. That's the wrong answer. At the end of the day, your analytics are showing you a demographic. Maybe it's females, 35 to 45. Maybe it's executives, males 25 to 55, right? Who is that person that you're targeting? Roy Ward, Pam, rebranding. I see your guys' questions. We're going to get to those in just a second. Dan Norton says, powerful story. Awesome how you can connect that to the business messaging. Makes so much sense. You know, it's easy. It's easy really to connect to the messaging when something like this impacts you so much. What's challenged for me is actually sharing it with you in a professional environment. You see, I get emotional. It's hard. It's hard to kind of, go behind the curtain. But I've been challenged to do that, to grow in my career. And so that's something that I'm moving forward with. Real Estate Whisperer is saying, providing you the best real estate tips with a dash of humor. I love it. Now, providing you is something I think we could work on, but I like it, right? Providing homeowners, right? Providing consumers, something to this effect. But I love where you're going. Larry Snow says, what do you do? Who do you do it for, and what qualifies you? I think that's a great model, so check that out. So number 1 is be clear, okay? Number 2 is be consistent. I can proudly say that, a strong percentage, maybe 50% of my success in business, and we have been vastly successful, guys. Let me tell you, I never thought I would be in a place where I would be able to bring my wife home from an $80,000 a year job. I never thought I would be in a place where we were owning a home that we've converted into a live stream studio, for the love of Pete, right? I never thought that I'd be in a place where we could take vacations when we wanted to. We're flying the kids out to Hawaii for Thanksgiving. So much of that success that we've experienced has been because we're still around. You know what I'm saying? Back on Meerkat, like Meerkat Cody Warner, boom. Great to see you, buddy. Back on Meerkat when we were just starting out, there was a lot of live streamers. There was a lot of people doing what we were doing. Back when I started selling video marketing services, to business owners at the chamber, there was a lot of videographers on the scene. But you know what? They all eventually stopped showing up. They started getting jobs, right? I'm a videographer at night, but I work at the bank. right? And I knew that if I just kept moving, someday they would get comfortable in their bank job and they would no longer be a competitor to me. So when I talk about staying consistent, I of course mean your clear message. Your clear message needs to be consistent, right? Meaning you say it the same way every time to everybody, okay? But you have to do it week after week after week after week after month after month after year after year after year. Guys, I have been in this business for, I mean, maybe 6-7 years, but maybe like 10 years from like inception. Like, I'm going to go to college and do this, right? Maybe like 10 years from uploading my first video type of thing. 6 years in the social media scene. I'm a recognized speaker. I get flown around from all over to go speak in conferences and address business people. And that took years to accomplish because the people that were getting the gigs before me aren't around anymore. And I've continued to grow. So you've got to stay consistent. The success you're looking for is not going to come as quickly as you think. Gary V will attest to that. We got some great comments and questions coming in. Cody Warner with $4.99 donation says, this guy, I wish I could share my screen. I really just did a casual live stream today, so I'm not able to do the whole thing. Cody Warner says, social media marketing world, so amped. Bro, it's a great conference. It's a phenomenal conference. It's one of my top of the year, like top 2 or 3 conferences of the year. Really, really great. So be clear, be consistent, guys. Outlast your competitors. Be there longer than them. Oh, there's so many, vlogger channels that do family stuff. Yeah, just keep going because they're going to give up and go get a job. You have got to hold out and beat them, okay? You're working at the Chamber of Commerce and you're trying to get business deals, and there's so many different printers or plumbers or painters in the area. Just keep going. Just keep doing content. Outlast them, okay? And the last one is this. Are you ready? Be clever, okay? Be clever. Now, you might hear marketers, very, very smart marketers like Roberto Blake. If you know Roberto Blake, type Roberto in the comments or give me like a high five. Roberto's a great guy. I love Roberto. Someone I look up to and admire a lot. He'll tell you, be clear instead of cute, or be clear instead of clever. And this is a great guideline for, picking out your value statement or titling a video, right? When you title a video on YouTube, you want to be just kind of like to the point and direct. When I say be clever, in terms of a broader approach to standing out in the marketplace, I want you to be clear first, to be consistent second. And once you're clear with scheduled consistency, now get smart, get clever, okay? Find new ways to tell your stories, okay? Find different ways to tell the stories that grow your business, right? You might be talking about lowest prices in the business. Why not instead tell us the story of how you came up with the pricing strategy, right? Think about new ways to tell your story so that you can continue to engage new audiences. Another thing is this: pay attention to what works. Pay attention to what works, okay? Don't keep doing things based on a hunch or because you like them. Guys, I just invested heavily in some Instagram images. By the way, follow me on Instagram at Owen Video. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. They're not performing the way that I thought that they would perform. My hypothesis was I will create images like this and they will perform at this particular rate. They are not. I was wrong. It didn't work. Now I could keep going saying, well, I really like this idea. But instead, what I'm looking at, I'm going, this is not working. So let's try something different, a new hypothesis. And that's something that you'll see shortly on our Instagram page. Okay. And finally, when we talk about being clever, I want you to measure what is happening and act upon it. Okay. Measure what is happening and act upon it. That means if you're seeing a better open rate or click-through rate without using keywords in your title and instead using inflammatory titles, go with that. Keep doing that. That means that if you find more success selling your product or selling your service with video ads, keep doing that and maybe pull back off the YouTube channel for a little bit. I know, right? I just said on YouTube, pull off of your YouTube focus. Look, if you're a business, your job is to make sales. It's not to get subscribers. And what I've seen so many times is business owners do very well with the subscriber thing, but they forgot about their business, right? You've got to make sure the money is taken care of first. Okay? So if you want to stand out and get more attention so that your customers aren't tripping and falling and hurting themselves to find you, be clear, be consistent, and be clever. We're going to jump into some Q&A time right now. And if you want to watch that, click right on here to watch that. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for weekly, sometimes daily tips. I'm going to be going live a lot this week. Welcome to Q&A. If you're just joining us, we were just talking about an incident where I had almost lost my daughter in a very tragic, very scary accident where the safety messages could not get through to us. We didn't see them. We missed them, and it harmed my daughter. If you want to see that video, click on this button up here. But I want to do some Q&A time with you guys. For those of you guys watching us live, in case you didn't know, I'm going to go back and edit these two videos out and kind of do that whole thing. And so I'm building my annotations in. You know, I tell so many of my folks here, rebranding autism. I tell so many of my watchers, my viewers, my subscribers, and my clients, like, watch not just what I do, but how I do it, right? There's a lot of clever things that we do, like one live video we're going to chop up later into little pieces. Cody Warner is just saying some great stuff. Due to your amping me up, outlast them. Absolutely true. Love Roberto. Video Zeus is saying ballin'. Brian White, great to see you. Glad to see. Hi, Kim is here. Great to see you, Kim. Look, if you guys have questions about growing your business, about standing out, or just how to grow with video, ask your questions now. I'm going to hang out with you guys for like 40 minutes. So if you don't have questions, you're just going to have to hear from me. And that'll just be the thing today. So Lily Tree is saying repurposing for the win. Repurposing for the win. Yeah. The Corruption Czar Network is saying, my channel is all about being clever, ? You know, that's a great way to get a question asked. I did see some stuff up here that I wanted to kind of come back to. Rebranding Autism is saying, proving that having autism doesn't mean you can't have a full life. Absolutely. So rebranding autism, you're saying that what you're all about is proving that having autism doesn't mean you can't live a full life. You know, you should check out Jennifer Masumba. Jennifer Masumba, MSUMBA. She's got a great channel. She does a lot of stuff. She's autistic and she's one of the funniest people I know. Okay, so Roy Ward Jr. is saying, my question, if you're using software, where can you be live on Facebook and able to play pre-recorded videos? Does it break any terms of service or rules? Okay, that's a great question. So what Roy Ward is asking about is, if I stream a pre-recorded video on Facebook, does that break any service or rules? Depending on how you do it, okay? So here's the general rule on all platforms. You are not to restream a pre-recorded video and make it appear like it is live, right? So you have to sort of like let them know this was previously recorded. And you can do that in the beginning with a very simple lower third or a full screen frame that says, hey, this was recorded from this is a replay of an earlier broadcast, okay? So that's one thing to consider, is that you really need to present the video as having been previously recorded in order to avoid and of course, like all things, some of you will get away with it. Some of you will not, right? And then some of you will get away with it for a little while and try it again, and then you'll get dinged. What I found is that the brands that try to get away with this get dinged. They just get dinged at the end of the day. So just avoid it. Okay. Now the other thing, do you guys know what I'm going to say? If you know what I'm going to say, put it in the comment section. The other thing is this is Premiere. Okay. The Premiere. Oh, rebranding autism is Jennifer Masumba. Hilarious. She says, oh, and it's me. It's me, Jennifer. Okay, so here's the other thing. Premiere, both YouTube and Facebook have a premiere feature. Now, when you stream a premiere video, it is streaming as if it's live and you don't necessarily need to say pre-recorded. Okay, the whole idea of a premiere video is you're making it live to the world. Okay, so the best way, Roy Ward, to let's do this again so I can repurpose it. What time is it? 3:48. Okay. So, Roy Ward, your question is, what's the best way to repurpose a pre-recorded video and stream it live on Facebook? The best way to do that is to use the premiere feature on your Facebook page. Upload the video to the premiere function, or you upload it as a video. You click, this is a premiere video, and then you schedule when you want the video to premiere. Okay, now what you can do is you can invite people to the event and really build like a lifestyle around that video or interest around that video. When it comes out, those people will get alerted. You can start engaging in the comments, and Facebook actually prefers that you do that. And the reason that they introduced that feature, by the way, is because business owners and streamers like you and me, we wanted to stream pre-recorded video. And so they gave us this feature specifically to do that. So that's fantastic. Hey, if you have questions about how to grow your business, how to grow your channel, and just how to get more exposure or anything else that's on your mind, ask me your questions in the comment section. I'm going to go through all those questions if I can. Great to see so many of you out there today. Tony Jacobson is saying consistency is king. My channel is steady, growing by staying consistent. Guys, consistency is huge. Figure out, here's the thing. What do you do? And who do you do it for? Just start there. What do you do and who do you do it for? Okay, so Jennifer, you were talking about proving that having autism doesn't mean you can't live a full life. So who's your audience there, Jennifer? Is it the autistic person or the person with autism, or is it the like the general population? Okay, because if it's the person with autism, I think that you need to think about like your frame. Okay, and your frame could be helping people with autism realize they can live an unlimited life, right? And I'm actually getting too wordy. It's actually a pretty complex thing, right? So I want you to think about, how do you identify, Jennifer, who you're talking to, right? I love rebranding autism. Showing the world the power of people with autism. Woo! Wow. Ooh, that's hot. I won't even charge you for that. Arthur Moorhead logging in. Hey, good to see you. I'm like, my computer's here, but my camera's here. So I'm going back. We got a lot of people love Roberto Blake. I was talking about him earlier. Paul Peck is the bomb. Definitely. Cooking with a Little Spice says, any advice for my thumbnails? I wonder if I can share my screen. I don't think I can. Cooking with a Little Spice says, any advice for my thumbnails? I love thumbnails. Let me see if I can visit your profile here. I can't here. I can't. Oh, come on. What a bummer. Yeah, I'm using this new YouTube streaming feature. I haven't really used this before, and it's just not letting me do anything. Look, send me a link to your thumbnails, or I can go into a different thing. Thumbnails are a key thing, guys. Let's talk about the power of thumbnails. Okay, your thumbnails, I just went over this with my team. Okay, your thumbnails have to be designed for you. Now, there are some best practices that you could be implementing into your business, into your channel, so that your thumbnails, perform at a basic level. But you have got to really think about what type of thumbnails are going to work best for your business. So, for example, I created, these thumbnails with YouTube face in them, right? Where I'm like, right, I'm doing it. We call it YouTube face, right? Where you're doing this big, silly face. I'm going to go to your channel with a little spice. And there I see you right there. Oh, good. 3,500 subscribers. So you've got some momentum. You're starting to feel it a little bit. I'm looking at your channel right now. See, I really love your thumbnails. Okay. I'm looking at Cooking with the Little Spices thumbnails, and they're really very good. You're emphasizing the food here, which I really like. Okay. So with going back to the YouTube face example, I realized that, and I could show in my analytics that my audience simply doesn't relate to that. My audience wants something a little bit more professional in order to take me seriously. And you know what? I'm 100% okay with that because I don't want to look like all the other YouTube guys, right? And I don't even consider myself a YouTube guy. I'm a business guy that uses YouTube, right? So you got to think about, what do your thumbnails look like? And a great way to figure that out is to really hone in on who your channel is for. What's that group of people? Don't say everybody. Everybody's the wrong answer, right? If we're Jen Masumba, we're talking about people with autism or the families of people affected by autism, right? That might be, I think, even a better audience, right? I do like the world. That's kind of bold and daring, but it's an exception. For most of you, cooking with a little spice, like, who are you talking to here? I'm going to play one of your videos, see if I could figure it out. Okay, so you're at a cooking show. Okay, so you're talking, I'm guessing you're talking largely to women. And now we are going to add 1 cup of brown sugar to it. I'm trying to go back here to look at your thumbnails again. So here's what I would do with your thumbnails cooking, okay, to answer your question in a long-winded way. Here's how I would make your thumbnails better, okay, is first of all, I would add a logo or a color bar. I mean, literally just a bar of color or something to your thumbnails to make it look like it's your thumbnail. There's nothing here that says this is Cooking with the Little Spices thumbnail. Anybody could have these thumbnails, right? So you got to put like a logo. Look at how in my logo for today, you'll see in all my thumbnails, I have the Owen video play button at the very bottom, right? That's so that your eyes become accustomed and you can know this is my video, right? So I think you need to add that to your video somewhere. You could probably put, little like a triangle of corner, a color triangle in the upper left corner or something, and just make it look like you. Okay. And I think what you could also experiment with is sort of taking the food. Okay. This is huge, guys, and making your thumbnails really stand out is taking the main object in the thumbnail, taking that, removing it from the background, and then putting like a color overlay over the background, like black and white, or just like a blue shade or a red shade, 60-70% opaque or transparent. So you can still kind of see through it. Right. And then let the real meat of the thumbnail jump out. Okay, that's a great way to improve your thumbnails. And what you guys should be doing is using the TubeBuddy feature, using TubeBuddy to split test your thumbnails so that you can see which one is performing. If you can't afford TubeBuddy, then just switch your thumbnail style every week and see which one gets you more click through. Also, be paying attention. You guys should all be on the new Studio Creator Beta by now. You guys should all be looking at Studio Creator Beta. That's where the magic is really happening. Cody is saying, haha, she was, Jen. That was awesome interaction. Totally. Hilarious. Tony Jacobson is asking, Owen, what are your thoughts about reaching out to past clients? What if they don't respond to you? Amazing question, Tony Jacobson. What if, I'm going to do it again. I'm trying to like keep notes here so that I can go back and re-edit these. Tony Jacobson is asking, Owen, what are your thoughts about reacting or reaching out to past clients? What if they don't respond to you? Okay, it is a very good idea, by the way, to keep all of your past clients in their own email list, okay? So after they've fulfilled, for an example, in our company, when we've fulfilled the project, we've delivered the project to them, or maybe their contract is up, first of all, we always want to continue to sell them. Like the last meeting, you should always have exit meetings with your clients so that you have an opportunity to sell them and upsell them, right? And you should be like conditioning them for upsell right as their month start, like their last month of business with you. You should be already like priming them for an upsell, okay, to keep them on board. But if they don't move forward, I'll think about it, Owen. Then we put them into an email list called past clients. And what we do with past clients is we reach out to them regularly, okay? And at first we do like a small gift, like a Starbucks card. Hey, it's been a month or two since we worked together. We wanted to just tell you how much I was sitting over a cup of coffee and thinking how much I enjoyed working with you. This is all template email stuff, guys, right? And as a matter of fact, we have tons of email templates that are coming out in our course that is coming out at the end of the week, by the way. So stay tuned for that. A lot of great stuff's coming out at the end of the week. You know, this email that says, we Want to just give you like I was drinking a cup of coffee, thinking about how much we liked you. Here's a cup of coffee on me. Love it. Love working with you. Hope everything's well. Then maybe another email a couple weeks later that's like, hey, want to do a follow-up 15-minute call, and you're just trying to re-engage them. And what I would do, Tony, is I would reach out to them, sort of in a systematic way where you send out an email once. And I use Get Response. I highly recommend that you all use Get Response. You send out an email on the first week of the month, and then with a Starbucks card. And anybody who opened it, okay, follow up with them personally in your Gmail, right? Go to their data and just follow. Hey, Jim, I was just thinking about you, right? And they don't know that you saw that they opened up your email, okay? So for each person that opens it up and maybe clicks through to the gift card or whatever, then stay with them, right? Stay with them personally on email for a little bit and bring them back into the fold. Your past clients are an amazing source of referrals and new revenue because it's easier. Here's a fact. It's easier to upsell an existing client than to acquire a brand new one, okay? So then nothing the second week of the month. Third week of the month, you send something else out to the whole group. And once again, not another Starbucks, but now how about like, hey, been thinking about you, wanted to see how your campaign's been holding up since we said goodbye, right? Hope everything's well. Then everybody who opens that, dig into that, write them personally on Gmail, right? We do the same thing on Instagram, guys, right? We do the same thing on Instagram where it's like you do a quick story and you're like, hey, if you guys like sales, tap here, but if you like marketing, tap here. And then whoever taps, everyone that taps, doesn't matter. You go and you private message them and you say like, oh, I saw that you tapped marketing. Hey, would you want to know about our new course coming out at the end of the week? It's all about marketing, right? And you're developing these offline relationships. So long-winded answer to you, 4-minute answer, Tony, is I would absolutely reach out to past clients. What if they don't respond to you? Here, I'll make it easy. They probably won't. Okay, they probably won't respond to you. You know why? Because they're taking care of the kids. They got to take the wagon. They're trying to get popcorn. They're trying to watch this movie. It's the end of the day. I've been at Legoland all day. Stopped at a stop sign. I was waiting for the light to turn green. I don't even know where my head is, and I have church tomorrow, right? That's your customer. And you have got to break through all that, and you're going to when the right message hits their inbox. So when you say, what if past clients don't respond to me? That's okay. Right? Don't worry about that because they're seeing you. They're seeing you. They're seeing you and deleting. Who cares if they delete? Who cares if they unsubscribe? They might delete 4 emails, but then they get one that's like, wow, that one really hit me, Tony. I'm ready to do business with you. Okay, so don't worry about their non-response. Only focus on the people that are responding. And remember, if they say, oh, well, what if I annoy them? Then they can get off your list by clicking the unsubscribe button. That's it. And if you want to do something cool, it's called list health, guys. We actually send emails out that are like, hey, you're not opening our emails. Can we remove you from our list? Right? Because it kills my open rate to have a whole bunch of people on my list that don't want to hear from me. All right. So think about that, okay? Because you don't need them to respond. Well, you don't need to do anything if they don't respond, right? Just keep sending emails in a systematic way so that you can get them back and get little conversations going. Roy Ward is asking, switch your studio as only a part of live video. I'm not sure. Maybe it's part of another conversation that's going on. Cooking with Little Spice asking about thumbnails. We saw that. Rebranding Autism is saying, question. And if you guys do have questions, ask them here, man. I'm not going anywhere. Right? Oh, I was. No, 4:30. I'm gonna stream for another like 20, 30 minutes, unless the questions keep coming in. Okay. And then I'll just keep answering questions. Todd Live, you SOB. How you doing? Great to see you, Todd Live. Todd Live and Real Estate Whisperer. Can you guys reach out to me on private message on Facebook? By the way, I want to have you both on my podcast this season. Let's make it happen. Reach out to me and let's make it happen. Roy Ward is saying, what size should you make the logo image? I'm not sure what you mean. Oh, on a thumbnail. Okay, Roy Ward is asking, what size should the icon or the logo be on your thumbnail? It should be noticeable. It should be small, right? Noticeable, but unobtrusive, right? Take a look at my thumbnails. Take a look at Tim Schmoyer's thumbnails. I mean, he's at the top of his thumbnail game, obviously. But take a look at what they're doing. It's a great sense. Excuse me. Lily Tree is saying, my purpose sounds a bit soft. Inspiring jewelry makers to create. Yeah. Okay. So Lily Tree, I think, and I need to understand more about what you do, but I believe it's like a home-based jewelry type of business, or do you have a storefront or a shop that you work from? You've got to say something like, yeah, inspiring jewelry for women who are worth it, right? Inspiring beautiful jewelry for beautiful moms, right? Now I know, but I can serve all sorts of women. I serve grandmoms. Okay, look, grandmas still consider themselves moms, by the way, and mom makes them feel younger. Okay. Moms is a very large audience, very large. And when you say moms, there's a camaraderie there, because a lot of businesses don't target moms. We go down to the convention center for kids days and family days. I swear all the parking spots are for, like the Chevy Leaf, right? And electric cars. Like if you've got a van or an SUV, there's no way you're parking comfortably at the convention center, which means the convention center is not marketing to moms, right? That's a big ass place to not want moms there. Right. So when you come out as a provider that serves and loves and affirms moms, that's very, very powerful. Now, can you do campaigns that are like, timeless jewelry timeless jewelry for timeless beauties? That's not bad. But like classic jewelry for grandmas or snazzy jewelry for active grandmas, something like that. Yeah, you can do small campaigns like that. But I want you to really talk about, like, I love inspiring jewelry. Talk more about the feeling, right? The feeling that people get. But I think that we're on our way there, Lily. What do you think? What do you think about those things? Okay. Finally, Jen at Rebranding Autism is saying, question, I would like to know how to connect channels with a couple of other channels in my niche. We want to promote each other. Okay. So what Jen is saying is, I want to know how to connect with other channels so that we can all sort of create a network and be, in community together. All right. This used to be a major YouTube tactic, and it's not so much anymore. It's almost like, hey, get out of here, fool. Like, I don't want to watch your videos. And so the way that you're going to approach other channels, Jen, is really, it's very strategic and I think very calculating. We talked about, right, be clear, be consistent, be clever, right? This isn't being clever. Now, I was just having this conversation with a client of mine. He's called the Sonic Guy, Paul Reiser. He's got a great reality TV show on YouTube about being the owner of 27 different Sonics and the food adventures that they go through. Really, really great show. And so, he asked me this very same question. He was saying, I'm going to these other channels and I'm saying, hey, great video. And maybe they'll heart it. Maybe they'll like it. Or I'll go in there and I'll say, hey, I just did a video like this. You should check it out. What do you think? And I might get some thumbs up, but whatever the case might be, I don't really recommend either of those ways as effective in reaching out to other channels. Okay, reaching out to other channels. Here's the thing you got to watch out for is that so many creators are trying to do the watch me and I'll watch you thing. It doesn't work. It does not work. So avoid that. Don't even think about it. Your primary goal instead should be building a mini relationship with this person to see if they're a fit for your vision, Jen, right? Your vision is to have a community of like-minded creators, right? I'm assuming in the autism, dare I say special needs. I hate that term. I know so many people with autism that are just fully functioning and wonderful. But are there other people in those niches, right? You got to reach out to them. You say, hey, wow, this is fantastic content. I do a lot of content like this. And I wanted to know, do you ever get blowback from being so honest? Right. And now you're creating conversations, back and forth conversations. You want to get them to respond back, right? Without even sort of mentioning your videos. It's a lot like dating, guys. When I was dating, I was studying the art of pickup, right? It's not something I'm necessarily proud of, although it did land me a pretty hot babe as a wife. So, Air 5, right? Let's get real. you try to not show as much interest in what you want, right? When you're going out, you're dating, you're not like, hey, I'm approaching 30 and I'd like to get married and have children soon. Can I buy you a drink? Right? That's not the way to do it, right? That's not the way to do it. The way to do it is to, you kind of hit the bar and you're like, oh yeah, she's pretty, kind of. You know what I mean? Like not interested, right? And it's through that just casual activity that you start to see, okay, this guy's down for the cause, right? You notice him, you want to get them on your channel, okay, without asking them to. And this is why you got to be systematic, because you got to target people. You say, I'm going to target this guy, right? And him and 5 other YouTubers are going to be my project this month. And you reach out to them in that way multiple times, knowing it might take a few. Remember, you have to do more to break through to your audience than you really think. So he might just think you really like him. You really like him. And then one day it dawns on him, oh my gosh, this is another creator. We should collab. Okay. So I want you to reach out systematically. I think like 5 people a month. Reach out to them on 2, 3, 4 of their videos and then see what happens next. Okay, if nothing happens next, right? And I would actually go get all alerts from them. So every time they upload, go comment on a few, even more. And if after a week they are not commenting back, take them off your alerts and move on. Find someone else, okay? Because not every YouTuber is going to get it. They're just not going to get it. Okay. Hey, if you guys are enjoying the show, feel free to share this on your Twitter pages, on your Facebook pages. Would love to have your friends join us. Your real estate whisperer is saying, what do you do when a lot in your niche have used your branding colors and styles for their channel? Okay, great question. Christina is asking us, what do you do when your competitors steal your stuff? They're using your colors and they're using your sort of branding and your technique. And I can see a lot of pink and bright greens and things like this. First of all, Christina, you are a pioneer in what you're doing. Okay. You are a pioneer in what you are doing. And pioneers take arrows in the back. Okay. I have taken plenty. I have been a trailblazer in this space. Right? Broadcasting from my home, selling shows to companies, never been done before. Well, what happens when you're a pioneer in live streaming? Well, it means that some of these never before, like there's no one to support you. How about that? There's no support number to call. So if you fail big and you fail live. And that's happened to me. In fact, I'm going to be talking about that later in the week. How my biggest failure put me down for 3 weeks. I mean, it put me down in darkness for 3 weeks. And how I came out of that and what sort of that process was like. So you're going to take arrows in the back as a pioneer. Understand that. And people are going to copy you. Okay. So how do you respond? Do you write them and you say, hey, you're stealing my stuff? No, you don't do that, because you're not going to sue them. At the end of the day, the time to sue them, and you don't want to put that energy in the universe. You don't want to put that energy out there like, oh, I'm this big suer now, right? Instead, what you want to do is you want to be taking pictures, screenshots of their stuff, and going live on Facebook and live on YouTube and talking about how you are paving the way for the industry. Do you guys get that? When people steal your stuff, you're a leader. Take copies, like picture, show others that you're being copied. Christina, I want to see you do a live stream where you're like, hey, I was just surfing the web the other day and I saw this realtor out in the city next to me, and she just started a YouTube channel. It looks just like this. Obviously, it looks just like my channel. And I wanted to say thank you. Because obviously so much of what she's doing has been inspired by what we're doing over here on our channel. We've been uploading videos for so long. We believe in XYZ. And even other realtors are starting to pick up on how valuable and how popular this is. So we wanted to say thank you. Hey, you maybe want to change up the colors a little bit because it does look just like mine, and you don't want to steal, necessarily from another creator. But love what you're doing. Thanks so much for the compliment of your mimicry, right? And then what you do is you send that to them. Okay. So when other people start to copy you, you start to market the hell out of the fact that people are copying you. Freaking A, I did it. Nick's done it. Nick Nimmin. How many of you guys know Nick Nimmin? Let me know in the comment section. Let me just tell you about Nick Nimmin. I have known Nick Nimmin since he was a baby YouTuber. And now to see him step into where he is, I mean, it's like the guy is just like internet family, to me. Maybe even a little bit closer because we've been through some stuff like Nick and I. So Kim here is saying, great point. Kim here is commenting on thumbnails. She's saying, make sure you don't put your logo in the bottom right corner because of the timestamp that YouTube puts there. That's right, guys. On your thumbnails, right, you want to make sure that the top bar is clear, like the top, 50 pixel bar across top is clear, and that the lower, right-hand side in this area is clear as well, because the YouTube overlays will go here. You want to keep your logo here or here, in this kind of area, here. Tony is saying, yes, been trying to reach out to my past clients for referrals and additional business. Thanks so much, my friend. Todd Live is saying, thanks so much for inviting me to the podcast. I would be happy to be a guest. I didn't invite you, Todd. You actually wrote me and said, hey, I want to be on your podcast. So you know what? And it's okay. I'm actually just teasing you guys. I freaking love that about Todd. Todd's like, hey, last time I was on your podcast, it was awesome. Let's do it again. And now here I am on live, and I'm like, yes, let's do it again. So I love that he, was willing to pull that out. Okay. Lily Tree is saying, I'm home-based. I make tutorials to teach jewelry making. Oh, Lily Tree, you should be crushing that. How busy moms make the best jewelry, right? Oh my gosh. Yeah, like how women, how moms and crafters, making jewelry for memories. I mean, there's so much there. Oh, what a fun business you're in. I really got to spend more time on your channel. You're such a great fan. In fact, if you guys do me a favor, would you like Mom Lily Tree? There's so many of you out there that deserve love and respect, and I love and respect you guys. You do it, for example, Pam Doothy, and videos. I want to recognize all of you guys, but I want to say something about Lily Tree. Lily Tree has been logging into this channel here, and I think even on Facebook in the past, for years. She's been watching my content. I want to say thank you. And it doesn't go unnoticed, and it doesn't go unappreciated. I love seeing my friends here. So who else do we got? You do it is saying, yes, I agree with Owen's assessment, Christina. You are a pioneer. Pam is saying, I hate when people spam me. Great video, watch me, yada, yada, yada. People hate it, guys. Get away from it. Todd Live is saying, dude, you crush it. Crush. No time for 3-week down periods. I get it. I'm right there with you. Roy Ward Jr. is saying, you're not going to fail until you stop, so keep finding a way to do it right. I love it. Okay, I need to get, obviously I can't block people. Darn it, my switcheroo thing is not working here. I don't know why, but I can't block anybody. So sorry about that, guys. Next time I'd love to get a moderator, and if any of you guys would want to moderate for me, that would be radical. Obviously, there's comments happening here that need to be removed and blocked and whatnot, and I just can't do that. So you do it as saying, make me a mod. Okay, I will. I can't, none of my clicks are working. I'm voraciously clicking on the buttons here, and it's not letting me set it up. So I will make Real Estate Whisper, and you do it moderators for next time. Okay. So love it. Lily Tree is saying, I love Nick Nimmin. Kim here is saying, I thought you were going to say I've known Nick since he was a baby. Since just a baby YouTuber. But we love Nick. And what Nick has done extremely well is he's grown a business that supports his channel, and he's done it so quickly. I watched him, quickly, 6 years. I've watched this guy seriously blow up, and he's done so well. Hey, guys, I want to let you know, for the last 6 months, we have invested heavily. Todd Live knows about it. We have invested heavily into building our business. We have hired an agency, a world-class agency. It is the biggest investment I have ever made into my business, right? Last year, we were afraid to spend money on ads. In November, we spent 5 figures hiring a very well-known and proven consulting team, same team that has worked with Sean Cannell in the past. And we've been putting together my signature course. And let me tell you something, it's designed for business owners. And we have seen results in here that have made me tear up at night. We have watched business owners who could not make a sale online all of a sudden make $2,000. That was Keith and Angie Radke out in Salt Lake City, Utah. I want to share with you guys some of the lessons that we have learned in investing heavy in your business and working day and night and loving every minute of it. I want to share that with you guys, what it's like to work with a world-class team. When you come to the table and you're like, hey, I'm the man, right? I'm the man, and you meet this world-class team and they're teaching you all these new things and you're learning how seven-figure companies operate. There's a lot of that stuff coming up. So if you guys, I just want to invite you guys to be a part of the journey this week and next week. Put me on all alerts, okay? And then take me off in 2 weeks. That's fine. We are going to be going live a ton, and we're going to be talking about in-depth topics that I promise are going to blow your mind. Okay, so Corruptions Our Network is saying, Owen, I use OBS for my live stream. I have a unique way of using OBS. There is no one that can copy to me. To me, everyone has the same type of live stream. Have you changed up your live stream? Yeah, absolutely. Look, we produce shows for companies, and I have a variety of different tactics and techniques. For example, how many people do you know have an Alexa-powered studio? Alexa, turn studio lights off. Right? How dope is that? Right? I could even turn off this one. Alexa, turn the power station off. Boom, and it's off, right? Alexa, turn the boys on. Right? And I get my blue lights back there. Alexa, turn backlights on. Right? Alexa, turn key lights on. Alexa, turn power station on. And hopefully, and it almost works. I almost got all my lights to go back on. Alexa, turn key lights on. Oh my gosh, hilarious. So, right? So we're always trying new things, right? The best way, I think, to reskin a show or to reframe a show is to reskin it, right? To add lower thirds of a different color, of a different animation nature, and also play around with the format of your show, right? What type of stuff are you saying up front to your audience, and like in the first 10 seconds, and what stuff are you saying? Everyone say their Alexas are going nuts. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I totally forgot that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen if I say some of that stuff. Your real estate whisperer says my live stream on Thursdays looks nothing like anyone else's. I would agree. Check out Real Estate Whisperer. She's got some great stuff, doing some really wonderful things. I would also like to say this, that the more engagement you can get on your live stream, the better you're going to do. We did a live stream that was a full-on game show. It's over on the Agorapulse Facebook page, and it was from like 3 weeks ago. Go to their videos tab and watch it. That was a phenomenally successful show. It was constant engagement from the audience. Okay. Guys, I love what you're doing. It's 4:22. Time to wrap up. No more questions are coming in. So I will see you guys tomorrow. You do it. And real estate, I'm going to make you guys moderators. Thanks so much for helping out. Appreciate you guys and your comment section in the comment section. And I cannot wait to see you later on in the week with more great business advice for growing your company, growing your brand online. We'll talk to you soon.